I think George Pickens is an emotional mess. I don't think he has the temperament to fulfill his physical talent and never will.
Wow.
He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
He does not understand how to behave and play professionally, like in the game.
I think we have enough data to show that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he hasn't grown one damn bit. He makes the occasional great physical play, and that's not the level that top receivers perform at. The top guys consistently get open, make catches. Even guys that were considered like divas, like Terrell Owens and stuff like that, their ratio of focus and performance is in another world compared to what you get from Pickens.
Now, good old Dallas Cowboys, man. Jerry Jones Cowboys. Now, Jerry Jones said 2-3 weeks ago, they had a big move brewing. Just wait on it. And here we go. The Cowboys are acquiring George Pickens from the Steelers in exchange for a third-round pick and a late-round pick. Okay? I posted this on Facebook that we're going to be having the show. Yeah. And you had a couple of two Cowboys fans, marveling over how cheap they were able to acquire this guy. Okay? Now, you want your take or my take?
I'll go with my take.
Go ahead.
I think George Pickens is an emotional mess. I don't think he has the temperament to fulfill his physical talent and never will.
Wow.
He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
He does not understand how to behave and play professionally, like in the game.
I think we have enough data to show that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he hasn't grown one damn bit. He makes the occasional great physical play, and that's not the level that top receivers perform at. The top guys consistently get open, make catches. Even guys that were considered like divas, like Terrell Owens and stuff like that, their ratio of focus and performance is in another world compared to what you get from Pickens. Pickens is such a mental imbecile that he literally just has to be managed all game. And he is, from a mental perspective, he is CTE AB with 1/3 of the talent.
And if you remember, Pickens is a guy, once he gets in his head and once something perturbs him, so like that affects his game. I mean, if you remember down the stretch of last season, he was dropping passes.
Yeah, that's really what I'm talking about.
Not finishing routes. You had, you got former players on national platforms saying, "Look at this. He's not even finishing his route. He's not catching the ball." And that's all of that is because of the how emotional he gets throughout the time of the game in certain games and situations.
He becomes, like, to the team a burden.
Yeah.
He can still make a play, but that whole, like, he ain't finishing his routes. Oh, he's like, whatever. Yeah, get him out of the game before he gets a, personal foul or does something. Like, you have to manage that type of personality, and it takes away energy and focus from what you actually need to do to win games. And I think that this is a horrible pickup for the Cowboys and a kind of a gift to the Steelers. The other guy that got that, like, and again, I think he's out of the league now, is Claypool.
Oh, yeah.
He was the same type of guy.
Yeah.
But no, like, he was a Steeler. I remember there was, like, sideline mics of, like, they were in, like, 2-minute, and he got tackled, and he's got upset, and he's, like, arguing with somebody, and Tomlin gets him out of the game, and he's like, dude, it's got to be bigger than you. We're in 2-minute, and you're wasting time arguing. We don't have timeouts. We got to run a play, and you're wasting time because your emotions can't allow you to focus on what needs to happen. And Pickens is that type of player. And, I mean, Claypool, thankfully, 4 or 5 different teams probably picked him up, and he's never performed anywhere else because he's not mentally capable of performing. And Pickens is basically that.
My thing on this is, and I agree with everything you said there, because I was able to pick that up, during the times he was having those issues. I think this is a decent trade for both teams. The Cowboys did acquire him for, a cheap price, if you will. The problem with that, though, is, and the reason why I'm not over the heels with that, is, number one, you are bringing a potential problem to your locker room. Number two, his contract is up after this year. So, you're going to have to pay him. And then, you say third round and late round like that's nothing, but third round picks are valuable in this league. So if he has a whatever season he has, if he has a really good season, you're gonna have to pay him really big money, and then also fit that into your already shitty salary cap. So however you do that, you do it. But if he has a bad season, and then yes, you can move on from him, but you've already spent draft compensation, a third round and late round pick, on a team that needs third round and late round picks to fill a team over your high salary guys you already have on the team. So I see a potential issue, either whether it goes good or bad. But I guess for this upcoming season, it is a low risk move.
Now, I think you almost made the argument of why it's really a bad move. Because now, like, you make this trade, and now you kind of have two choices. Do we make the trade and extend him before or during the season?
You know that's going to be on his mind.
Of course, that's what he wants. And so his people will be in your ear about that. But then you don't know, like, how does he adapt to us? Does he show any maturity, like any focus, or is he the same idiot he was in Pittsburgh? And you don't want to pay for that. And so ideally, the best thing for the Cowboys is to bring him, have him basically play for a contract and play well, but then you still have the risk that he gets to the end of the year and he goes somewhere else to get paid. But I don't see any other way, because I think you're damn foolish if you extend him before this season's over. But again, that's what he wants, and that's kind of what hedges your bet of him moving on. But at the end of the day, you don't trade for a player like this because he is a bad bet.
Yeah.
You don't feel good about this. You don't feel good about the decision of extending him. You don't feel great about the decision of riding it out and maybe you lose him somewhere else. Then why are we trading from the beginning? This is stupid.
Yeah. And then on the Steelers side, what I can really see happening is a wipeout, is a bottom out. And because, they're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers. What a fucking, joke that is. But, in any event.
It's like those poor little kids waiting for Santa.
Yes. Or yeah.
Kids, it's your damn parents.
I was gonna say something.
Santa doesn't exist.
But yeah, and so with that, right? They can bottom out because you give away your number one receiver. They you don't have a quarterback. Your defense is whatever, and then you bottom out for one of these top quarterbacks, which I do believe that Baby Manning is really legit, and he'll be eligible to come out in the draft, and all by all accounts. Next year's draft is a much stronger quarterback grouping. And so, just bottom out and collect assets and then really go for it next year. I think that's a reasonable move for the Steelers. Now,
but very unlike what the Steelers have ever done. And so that would be a different animal for them to tackle.
If they do bottom out, do they get rid of the coach? Do they get rid of Tomlin? Hey, things are not looking good over here. You went 3 and whatever.
The reality, if your plan is to bottom out, the better thing to do would have been to mutually part ways with Tomlin at the end of last year.
Yeah, before this season.
Give him the opportunity to maybe find a better option. Honestly, I think it's highly disrespectful to Tomlin to get to this point and make the decision to bottom out.
Yeah.
If you got to the end of last year, looked at the situation, we don't have a quarterback, we don't have this, we don't have that, and just say, hey, Mike, I don't think we have an option but to bottom out, and I'm giving you the option to go look elsewhere and find a more contending situation.
Which still, I don't understand. I don't know why they didn't give Shedeur a shot. I'm not the biggest Shedeur fan or whatever, but it's like, even if you're planning on bottoming out, you don't have any weapons. What do you know what I mean? Like,
well, they brought in DK Metcalf.
You still, you have DK, but like, why not just throw a flyer and bring them in? I don't know, but whatever. I do think that's their plan, and again, in my opinion, it's an okay plan. I think it's okay for both sides, but Pink kind of swayed me on the Cowboy side of things. So Cowboy fans, they probably won't like this clip much, but you're gonna get it anyway.
Well, I thought, did you catch the Quinn Ewers thing?
Yeah.
The storyline there, which
Yeah.
really, I mean,
That's interesting.
Well, it mirrors the Shador thing.
Yeah.
And if the reality is that Ewers
What's that?
and
Sixth,
Shador,
seventh round?
He was seventh round.
Seventh round, right?
Yeah, and to the Dolphins. But if you honestly believe in, and the word on Ewers, that story is he was generally regarded as a third or fourth round talent. But because of his high profile, for whatever the hell that
Which
is.
I'm about to say, where have I been?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Well, that teams didn't want to take him in that range and have him be a backup with too big a profile.
No, they just think you suck.
But again, it's kind of echoes the logic that I think accounts for part of the Shador slide, is that if we're not drafting him in the first round where we think he's our future, we don't want a guy that acts like he's the future.
Yeah.
In the second, third, or fourth round.
Now, what Shador, I'm with you. I'm on board with that. It makes 1,000% sense.
Yeah.
The other guy, you're not that guy. I mean, just as far as popularity and all of that stuff, you still may pan out to be a really great football player.
No,
you're not that popular guy.
To what extent? I mean, he was like when he came out of high school, he was like the highest rated recruit.
He was
in some time. I mean, he literally like tracked like a Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
that was like he was that highly rated coming out, 5 stars, everything going.
And that's the absolute only reason why he kept his job. Because every time you saw Manning, he was much better than him. Yeah. Much better. All the fans were clamoring for Manning and all of that, but they wanted to stay committed to that because he did come in with such a high profile.
Yeah.
But no,
I still remember the first year he played, like he had Alabama on the ropes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was slinging around. He got hurt in that game, and Alabama came back, and it was just like, damn, I really thought 2 years ago that he was what he was billed to be.
Yeah.
And he just kind of fell flat.
He did. To a guy that's you claim to be always flat is Justin Herbert. This is just something quick here. Jim Harbaugh said, he woke up one morning, I gotta get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame. That's my life goal now. To you says what?
How about baby steps and win a fucking playoff game? I mean, you're a long way from the Hall of Fame if you can't win a playoff game. What are we talking about?
Oh man, it's weird because I love Jim. I really like Jim Harbaugh as a coach, and I love the Harbaugh family. Yeah. And maybe he got stuck with a lemon. I don't know.
I like him too, but I mean, I think he's Bo Callahan.
In the sense of
Justin Herbert is Bo Callahan.
Oh.
You know that movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good reference.
Shout out to Chadwick.
Mm-hmm. You don't buy it. Well, not buy it, I guess.
I just said there's something off with that guy. Like that's the Bo Callahan thing is it. Like he has all the tools. He's a big guy, strong arm, like athletic, like looks the part, checks all the boxes. But where are the wins?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And like again, that's the fucking job.
Yeah.
Win games that matter, and he just hadn't been able to do it.